let me start with first of all saying good morning to you all. Let me just do a little bit of review and just tell you really what this whole week's been about, right? So everybody would understand, hopefully, what it's about. But it's about Customer Service Week, in conjunction with obviously today in terms of voting the best companies, all right? And really for me, some of the things we've done this week in terms of, and I'll take responsibility as well in terms of the good deed stuff. So I think I've made it twice now, T, which is twice in 9 years, whatever it is. No more.
Do you get one?
It's going to be a
All
hatred.
right, okay, all right, fair enough.
After this, I think.
I'll make the final one today, all right, so 3 times. With all seriousness, it is about, I think it should be about having fun, all right? And when you come to work, you should enjoy doing what you do. All right, I'll talk to you a little bit about that in a second. The first thing is also in terms of use it lightly in terms of dressing up. All right. So the people that have really gone the extra mile in terms of dressed up today, in particularly, and it does look like, is it the So Solid crew?
So Solid crew,
Yeah, in terms of the wholesale, right? It looks like they're going to break out into like some sort of dance routine. Right?
What do we call it?
So Britain's Got Talent, watch out, I think. But really well done, guys, in terms of putting that extra bit of effort in as well. So let me just talk to you in terms of really about the structure of the vote and what happens today in terms of those that haven't been here before. So at the end of, throughout the day really, I'm going to give you a little slip, and in there's your own personal number. You'll just go into the booth over there, the voting room, and the voting room, whatever you call it, and you'll just you just answer a few questions. It takes about 10 minutes. All right, so every single person has a slip, and more than welcome to go in the room and do the voting. So that will be the bell. So let me just talk to you in terms of some of my thoughts over the last few days. So it just takes me back, really. I've been here, I've been here 9 years now. And Christ, it goes quickly, right? Because I actually did look at a picture the other night of when I first joined. All right. Now I joined on February the 29th. All right, which is everyone would know, which was a leap year, right? And I looked significantly different then.
You had hair.
I had hair. Absolutely right. I did have hair. So there are some consistencies, but my hair isn't one of them. But really, in terms of that atmosphere and that environment, all right. I remember being met by Julie on reception, who was absolutely bubbly as anything. But she probably represented the closest thing in terms of what chess is today to what Avenir was in the old days. Because when you went through that door, a lot of that energy and a lot of that atmosphere, I think, really got sucked out of that business. All right, it's so much sucked out in terms of over the 6 years I was there, become quite a depressive place to work. All right, for those that work there, I'm sure all of you would agree with that as well. And it was a bit of breath of fresh air. And I remember when David first walked in with Stephen, and he stood in the middle of that office. I'm not sure for those of you who remember there, and he addressed everybody. And Andy tried to stand up and talk to everybody. And I don't think anybody paid any attention to what Andy was saying, but they did pay attention in terms of listening to what these guys were saying. And he talked to me about the passion David spoke with when he first did that 30-second or a minute opening, and talked about his blueprint. All right, and I say his because it is effectively, it's all of ours. And over that period of time, the last 2.5 years, I think we, as a business here, have changed significantly. Right? I certainly changed as an individual. And when I really look about that, and I think from where we come from, that was a really, Paul Insat came in the other day, and he talked about the old office in terms of how, he said, when you walked into the room, it was quite intimidating because it was one big open room. He said, but here it just feels really engaging. He said, it's a completely different atmosphere in this building to what it was in the old building. Now, lots of the people here are the same, and we've had some new people, and you will always lose people. All right? But you will always gain people throughout their journey. And then I think about what did it really mean to me. So I'm just going to talk to you a little bit, because I like talking about myself, as we all do, right? But I think I'm just going to share some of the things that have probably happened to me over the last probably 18 months or so. And and this is really what it's about for me. So if I talk to you in terms of what's happened really in terms of myself. So I think it was October last year, October the 1st last year, I got promoted to the MD, which was a fantastic achievement. And one I always wanted to set myself a goal in terms of becoming. So when you achieve that, you then have to reset yourself goals in terms of what else you want to do, and what you want to become. And I've always said, for me, leadership is about the people around me. It's not about me. All right, it's about inspiring you guys and trying to get really more out of you and trying to get you to really realise your dreams and your goals. And then I also look at other people outside of work, and the balance of work life with your home life is bloody difficult, right? For those that don't think about it. So for me, really, the last 18 months has been a bloody tough time personally, right? So I'm not going to go into a great deal of detail, but I lost my father, all right? And for those that have unfortunately lost close ones to them, it's bloody difficult, right? But it's only at certain times in your life you think about it and think, actually it does mean a hell of a lot more to you. And then seeing Pete, everyone knows Pete, all right? And for that battle Pete went through with Lisa, And to actually go to that funeral and see him putting his wife burying his wife was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. To see your mate who you love, to be in absolute floods of tears, and there's nothing you can do other than one thing, which is support him. All right? And I think that is really probably the biggest message that I take. And then probably the other thing for me that's really difficult, and some of you know, some of you won't know, and I'm not going to go into it a great deal, but I've been married this year for 25 years. But I've also, unfortunately, or fortunately someone might say, I'm actually going through a breakup at the moment, right? Which is bloody difficult. When you've been married for 25 years, you've got 3 kids, you've got a nice house, you've got everything else, and all of a sudden you end up in a rented flat, it's bloody difficult, right? But it's reality of life. Life happens. But the one constant in the last 18 months that I've managed to take probably solace in more than anything else is 2 things. 1, friends outside of work, but 2, and as cheesy as it sounds, is friends inside of work. Right? I've had fantastic support, in particular obviously from Kerry, from Dan, and some other people around me, certainly in terms of David and Stephen as well, and that really is true. And then I even thought about recent times, none of you really knew what's happening with Dan Russell last weekend. All right? And to think that someone has gone through that problems and mastered all from all of you, because he just genuinely wants to do a good job for all of you and support all of you, which is what it's all about. And one of the first things we Kerry and I went to see him, certainly when we texted him, is more about work stuff than it is about himself. All right? And I think that just really reminds me of one thing. This place is about one thing and one thing only, which is you guys as the people. Everything else is really largely irrelevance. Okay? Because you're only going to get out of this business, I think, what you put into it. And you make friends here. Right? You'll make friends that you will see outside of here, not all the time, but you will see friends outside of work. All right? And it's where a lot of relationships are born inside of work. Certainly Dee, where's Dee gone, wherever she is?
I'm here.
You've done a video in, didn't you?
I'm here.
And as I said to you really in terms of, I always use that word in terms of, Cal, don't I?
Yeah.
I'll stop doing that, don't I? It is a bloody tough place to be, I think, at times, but you do forget what this place does mean to you. So for me, the biggest thing probably it does mean to me is with the one consistent message I've had throughout all my issues outside of work, and you've all had your own issues, right? We've had some great times, right? We've had lots of people who've had lots of babies, some are going off today and have more babies, right? Which is a great way to be. But just remember, at the end of the day, today and this week, and really this job, it's about one thing, you guys. You're not voting for David, right? You absolutely aren't voting for Steve, and thank God you're not voting for me. But what you are voting for is your people, all right? Is you guys, is your colleagues, is your friends. And that's all I remind you of. Yes, we can have good days. Yes, we have some bad days. We don't get it right all the time, right? It's impossible to get it right all the time. It's like being a parent. There's no perfect book to do it, all right? The one thing you do, I think, the one thing I can honestly say that I do, is try 110% every single day, all right? And I'm sure all of you think at times, John, you're an absolute idiot at what you do, but I make the decisions that I think are best for you guys, all right? And that's the one consistency I'd ask all of you, just remember today, in terms of when you go to vote, right? So you've got 10 minutes to really talk to them about how you feel, right, in terms of what you see in terms of your colleagues. And it's those colleagues that you treat every day is really what today's about. And the last thing, and I've just put it down there, and I was thinking, I was talking earlier on, I can think of loads of quotes, all right, and lots of things in the book, but probably the one that I've always used more than anything else is you never know what you've got until you haven't got it, right? And that's true for my life, it's true for the last 18 months, and it will be true for all of you in whatever form, guys, that is. All right, so just remember that in terms of whatever it is you do. So as I say, have a great day, enjoy your cakes, enjoy the gifts, enjoy what we do, but ultimately, just go and vote and just you tell from the heart exactly how you feel. All right, thanks very much indeed.